Hello, beautiful souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. I am so excited to bring you my guest today. I'm going to let her in right now. Welcome, Pamela. I'm so excited to have you here on my podcast today.
Hi everyone. Thank you for having me here. I'm so excited too.
Great. Why don't we just get right to it? Why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started into doing this type of work?
Sure. So when I was growing up, my family was Buddhist. So we did believe in like superstition or ghosts or, praying and stuff, but I was never really taught to work with energy. I was never taught magic or manifestation. And I moved out at a very young age. So at the age of 16, and I didn't have money. And so I was searching for everything to make more money. And so I went to a lot of psychics. I got really curious. I went to a lot of psychics, and one of the psychics was actually my first mentor for magic. So she taught me a money spell that actually worked, and so that's when I started to really believe, and I got really into like the astrology, the magic spells, rituals, and from there I read all the books, and at that time there was nothing online because this was in the early 2000s, and so you actually had to like go to the library, and research. So it was a little bit harder than now. And when I moved up to Las Vegas from Hawaii, I went to this holistic fair when I was 20, and I was walking around, and there was these ladies by these crystal bracelets, and they were holding it and saying, "Wow, it feels so good." And so I went and picked one up, and I couldn't feel anything. I was wondering what they were feeling, and I really wanted to know. And just so happened, a booth later after that, my first Reiki teacher was there. She pulled me in and she said, "You need to work with me." And I said, "Okay, I will." And so that was my first energy certification. And I also learned psychic development from her. And from there on, I just kind of I took a lot of classes, a lot of classes, and I practiced, and I just created everything myself from there. So it wasn't really from family. I didn't have a big awakening, and I really do believe that this could be possible for anyone to tap into their intuition.
Absolutely. I completely love your story. First of all, there were so many nuggets there. I want to go back a little bit. You left home when you were 16,
Yeah.
had no money.
Yeah.
And this is the part that really stood out for me is that got really curious and you started going to different psychics.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to say to point out to everyone is that if you're interested in psychics, tarot readers, healers, energy, whatever it is that is your thing, it's because it's for you. That's just the clue. It's just the clue, right?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I really love that. And I think there was a reason why I was, moved out at a young age, no money. It was because in my Vedic astrology chart, that's actually my purpose, money and business. So I had to learn how to make money, be abundant, call in money before I can be in my purpose. So there was a lot of challenges around money, and that's because it's part of my purpose.
I love that. So you also know how to read the charts and everything for people? Is that one of the things that you learned and that you also help people with?
So my business partner Alex actually does all of that.
Uh-huh.
I intuitive read actually. So we would go on the same time and read, but she could actually read the charts, and then I'll be like, "Hey, what about this?" And yeah, it's really amazing what the Vedic astrology shows you. It could pull up to 20 years from now and just confirm everything for you.
Yeah, amazing. I'm the same. I'm the same. I have a friend of mine who
Yeah.
she can be like, "Oh, the moon is here and that's there and that's on your chart," and she'll tell me everything, and I'll be like, "Okay," and it's like 1 year out the other. It's like it's not my thing, and that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of studying. That was too much studying for me. Tarot was good. You know?
Yeah, but I don't you feel that the parts that even like the things that you studied that you felt like studying are the ones that were meant for you because they were easy for you.
I think so.
right?
So I took a lot of energetic modalities and healing modalities, and I felt like that really prepared me for where I am now. And it kind of just like combined together. I didn't really use Reiki, and then it just like became just like my own energy work or healing that I use. Now I we do certify our students in Awaken Bliss codes, which is like a next generation energetic technology. And so we use that every single day, and that is powerful.
Oh, amazing. Can you tell us more about that type of modality that you're using? Did you create it or did you study that and how does that work?
Yeah, sure. So it's a funny story because my business partner Alex actually took my business program. So she was my student. And then like 2 to 3 years, all these coincidences add up. And inside of my program that she took, she actually created the Awaken Bliss codes. So I was her first guinea pig. And so she was doing these codes on me and I could describe exactly what they were. She didn't tell me yet. And so she was like, this is real. I knew it was real, but she still needed the confirmation. And so she channeled this from the Akashic Records with a group called the Council. It's a collective that she connects with. And we actually did hypnosis regression together, and we confirmed that this code was used back in the time of Atlantis at the Golden Age. And it was also, we also taught it across the galaxy in many different mystery schools. So that was really cool. And it's a multi-dimensional code, sort of like Reiki. We do draw it, but one code contains multiple uses. So anything you want to manifest, anything you want to heal, anything you want to do, like before I came on the show, I used the voice code to become a more powerful, confident speaker. So anything you desire, you can use the codes and that will just help you become more of that frequency that you want.
Amazing. I love the way you explained that. I saw something with numbers that have like specific numbers to manifest different things. Is it similar to that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I think I do know what you're talking about. It's not numbered. It's these sacred codes. So only our students know what the symbols are. But we can use it on our clients, to the public. And basically, like a Reiki symbol, it's very similar to that. And we get initiated, you meet the codes, you get activated, you work with the codes. But instead of just like one use, right? Like for distant healing for one symbol, one code has like 30 usages. So there's one of my favorite is we call it like the chaos creation code. So it's a manifestation code and
Uh-huh.
it's also like a shot of espresso. So whenever we're tired, I'm just like, Alex, send me some codes, and then you instantly wake up. And it's also really good for like your spells and rituals. It just amplifies the manifestation for that.
It sounds like pure magic. I love it. I love all about it. Wow. And I also love how you came together with your partner,
Yes.
right? Like, like it's such beautiful symphony of the universe bringing you together so she can study from you. She creates things. And also what you said about the confirmation that she needed like to know that this was actually real because that's one of the things that we go through, right? When we get some type of information and we don't know if it's real or not.
Yeah.
But then when somebody else tells you, did you have any doubts about your own abilities when you first started that you had to get confirmation as well?
I think my intuition and magic, I didn't have any doubts because I come from a perspective of play. So I would try and play and see if it works. And I would just test it out on all my friends. They were really good friends. They let me, do readings on them and do all this. And they were very supportive. So I'm grateful for that. And so I didn't have any doubts of that. And there was confirmation, like things would happen for people. So I would get the confirmation back. I think what I had really doubts were, on my spiritual entrepreneur journey, like being a coach or, publishing. I didn't even, I dropped out of college. You know, English is my second language. And so I never thought I would be an author. Even when I had 3 contracts, I didn't think I could write. So a lot of my reprogramming was around business and, you know, being an authority and publishing.
Amazing. Tell us more about that part of the struggle that, especially what, like you mentioned, like that's not my first language. So many people are out there like that. And then there's like that doubt. Am I good enough? Can I actually do this? How did you move through that? Did you use the codes or did you have to do some more inner work in order to move through that?
So at that time, I didn't have the codes yet. I wish I did, but I didn't. So the codes, so we actually won Hay House contract with the codes. Yeah. So
Amazing.
we didn't really merge it, but we were going to create a deck together. And somehow we won the Hay House contract, but we were like loading it up with the codes. And then from there, it was just easier for us to be partners because we'll be promoting things together. And then all my Llewellyn Worldwide publishing stuff was before that. So it was something that I really had to fight through. And I just remember I always wanted, you know, I think everybody always has that curiosity of wanting to create a tarot deck. If you love tarot, you're like, wow, I wish I could create one. And I think that was me. And I tried to create a tarot deck that wasn't even a tarot deck in the beginning. And it just failed. Nothing happened with that. It didn't go anywhere. That's fine. And I was really lucky. And like I said, it was because I think because I play in miracles and magic. And I got really lucky because one of my tarot mentors at that time, she just got published. And so she kind of helped me with my first deck, Witchling Academy Tarot. I've already self-published Crystal Unicorn Tarot, which was actually really, it went big in like Japan and blew up in Japan. And that was my self-published deck. And so I decided I wanted to traditional publish and I submitted Witchling Academy Tarot. And I don't even know how I got the contract. Like that was not the best writing or the artwork. And I actually learned how to write from taking business courses because I had to write Instagram posts or emails. So I learned how to write from business courses. I never wrote an essay in my life. I don't remember. In Hawaii, we don't have the best education. And so the whole time I had to be like, writing is fun and easy. Writing is fun and easy. So I used a lot of mindset tools, you know, tapping, of course, like reprogramming and just really affirming to myself that I am a good writer throughout the entire time.
I love that. Oh my gosh. It's just like, I don't know, like people who are like looking at this, like, are you getting all of these struggles, all of these hurdles that Pamela has gone through? And just like another thing that you mentioned that is like really key that I want everyone to get is that you said, I was just playing,
Yeah.
right? I was just playing. And this is key because we are being called to go back to that age, the part of when we just play with things, when we're having fun, we're enjoy. And that's when we are actually connected, manifesting, creating. That's when things happen for us, is because we're just playing and there's no attachment to outcome.
Yeah, I think there's two things that gets people stuck though. I think
Okay.
number one is time. So,
Yes.
you know, life gets in the way and we don't have time. But at this time that I created my first deck, I was working 3 jobs. I was trying to write my first deck, the guidebook, and I was building my business. And so I didn't, and boyfriend, right? I didn't have the time. I made time, right? Instead of like going out and partying, then I stayed home and typed because it was more important to me. It wasn't a sacrifice because I knew this is what I wanted. And the second thing is rejection. So what was the worst thing that could happen? They say no, right? If you
Right.
submit something, they say no, or if you try to talk to a client and they say no. I've had many rejections before because I've actually been in a lot of sales jobs, and so I'm okay with rejection, and I think that's what allowed me to like keep going even if I got a no or even if I failed, because you won't always fail, you'll get better and better.
Oh, that's really good advice. I love that. I love that. Um, After when you started your business and you started making money, which is what you needed,
Yes.
um, how did your family react to that? Do they know, or did they
Yeah.
know? Did you tell them, like, you came from a religious background? Like, how was that taken from your family?
Yeah, so it actually took me like 10 years to make money in my business. I know it looks like I'm here now, but actually it took me 10 years since like 2008, and I didn't really make money until 2018. And I think that was also because we weren't online. I had to go to like Jamba Juice and Starbucks to post posters for like Reiki classes. I don't know. Or I would put
The
posts.
old way.
Yeah, or I would go on Facebook and put Reiki class, but I wouldn't tell them where or when or what time. I was really bad at business, okay? I learned. I took a lot of business courses. So they're actually very open. I don't really talk to my mom anymore, and my dad left when I was really young, so I didn't have connection with him, and I lived with my grandma, my auntie, and my cousin, and so they're really open. I think Buddhist, they're really open, pretty open about things, so they weren't like, what is this? And they know magic. I think they believe in magic. My boyfriend, I've been with my boyfriend for 18 years. And in the beginning, when I was taking the Reiki classes and psychic development, we were together for maybe a year or two. And at that time, he actually told me that it was a cult. It was devil's work, and he wouldn't talk to me when I went to those classes. But I think I just knew that this was so much more important, and I'm not doing anything. I didn't think it was bad. And so I followed my intuition, I followed my passion, and I continued to go. I would never push it on him. I don't talk to him about it. And he just kind of got okay, you know. And I do think that the more we work on ourselves, and the people around you will grow with you. And so none of my friends, actually my friends, they don't have social media. They're not anything spiritual. Sometimes they might ask me about stuff. They'll buy my stuff to support me. But like one friend, she just has all my stuff, but she hasn't even opened it. It's just a shrine of
Oh,
my stuff at her. I know, so nice. But they're not spiritual at all. And I think that's okay, because I found spiritual friends online. Like Alex, I met her online. We actually got published, and we were business partners before we even met in person.
love it.
Yeah. So I think you can find your community online, and it's really powerful, and you don't have to force magic or spirituality, anything that you're learning on other people. So when I had to self-publish the Crystal Unicorn Tarot, I had to wrap 500 decks, right, for a Kickstarter, and he was just helping me wrap it. And he was like, "What is this?" He didn't even know what a unicorn was. Okay, so he's completely opposite of me, and I mean, as long as he doesn't critique me or put me down, I'm okay with it. He doesn't need to be like all up in my business, you know what I mean? For me to thrive.
I love that because that is one of the biggest things that I have heard from my clients, myself included, where
Oh,
it's like you come into your own spirituality, you start to do the work, you start to go down the rabbit hole, and then your partner or your family, those who are close to you, think exactly what you said they thought. That's a cult, it's evil, it's the
yeah.
devil, it's like it's not good. But again, once you're like in it and you're feeling like I'm not doing anything wrong, it feels aligned, it feels good. I'm actually helping people. They look happy. It's like, how can this be bad, right? It's like you start to go back to your own knowing or your own
Yeah,
feeling instead of what you're being told, right?
exactly.
And
Exactly.
and also he stayed with you, right?
Oh, 18 years, yeah.
Right? So and actually, I have talked about this because my husband also is still with me, but he was not happy when he first found out. It was like the same type of thing.
Yeah.
But I believe that we are placed in places with the certain amount of circle of friends or people so that we can be that light that
Mm.
I don't know, gives them that little glow, that little warmth of what is available. And because there's love involved between you and whether it's family or partnership, they remain and then they're able to receive that light from us,
I think so. So
right?
yeah, I think so. And I think it's easier for him to accept it now because he saw me making money. They're really logical. And so I think he saw it as like an opportunity now. His mom lives with us, and we have an altar outside for, she prays to like Vishnu and like the Hindu gods, and I pray to Lakshmi. And so it's not different. It's just, it's the same thing. It's the same energy, but maybe we just do it in a different way, right?
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Do you want to share some of the things that you have there? I'm so curious. I had not seen all of these things that you
Yeah.
created that you're selling, and they look so yummy, and I really would like to like dive into them and see.
Yeah, thank you. And so I think so you can I really believe that you can manifest anything in your life because I manifested 10 publishing contracts in 4 years from someone who's never written before. Nobody knew me. I had like 1,000 people on my Instagram, and I worked to build that up and my publishing. And so let's do the book. So I have a couple more, but I couldn't fit it here. So we just came out with this year, the Mandarin tree, and it's co-authored by Samantha Blossom. So we're both Taiwanese lineage, and so we kind of share like our American Asian practices. So you actually visit 8 archetypes in here. So there's the dragon, the phoenix, you have the money frog, you have laughing Buddha, you have Kuan Yin, you have the golden ancestors, and in each chapter you can work with them. So you can create an altar, you can do a meditation to meet them. There's a ritual for you to call in that archetype and that energy to help you create more abundance in your life. And so this is the Mandarin tree.
Love that.
Yeah.
I really love the cover and
The cover, I
everything.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. And then next is Tarot of the Owls. So the artist is Elizabeth Alba. She's actually really, really popular in the tarot world. She did Everyday Tarot with Deborah Blake. And so this was a really funny story how she became my artist too. So we used to do giveaways, Instagram giveaways together. So I kind of knew her. And when I was submitting the publishing, submitting my proposal, Witchling Academy Tarot, my first deck that published, it took me 3 to 6 months to write that. This, I was working on something else, and all of a sudden, owls came through, and I finished the proposal in 3 days. 78 card descriptions, a whole chapter, the outline, everything. And so I submitted it in. I was still kind of like a new author. And so I was talking to Elizabeth and I shared something of hers and she's like, thank you so much, And I said, oh, I just submitted an owl tarot proposal and I hope you're my author. She's like, let me see. And I sent it to her. She's like, I want to do it. And so I emailed my acquisition officer and I told her, I said that, look, Elizabeth Alba wants to be the artist. And so the contract came back, only if she is your artist, you get the contract. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I think we did really well. I think it published last year, but we did so well that they made a mini deck. I don't have it, but it's so cute. It's like this small. Yeah.
It's really beautiful. I was instantly attracted to the owl. It's absolutely gorgeous. I had not seen that before, so it's really
Yeah.
impressive. I love it.
Like, and I have it out. The back of the cards is an eye. She did this
Oh,
part. Yeah. So
gorgeous.
beautiful. She's an amazing artist. And then we have what just came out on 8/8, Steampunk Fairy Tarot. So this is traveling. So if you think of like fairies and steampunk, it's all about like magic and opportunities. And so that was what like this like anything can happen because they're all about creation. And so this is what this deck is about. The artist is Ashley Cassidy. And it's really funny because she actually drew me for the moon card and Llewellyn picked it for the cover of the box. So
Wow.
I thought that was really cool. Yeah, she is an amazing artist. And so that just came out. Barbara Moore, she did a steampunk tarot for Llewellyn a while ago, and that was like their best selling. And so that really inspired me to create Steampunk Fairy. And one day they just kept popping up, like on my Instagram and stores. I just kept seeing them. And I was like, okay, let me ask Barb if I could do this. And she's like, yeah, go for it. Yeah. Let me see if I
Love
have
that.
a,
I love how you're guided. You're guided, you're getting all of
yeah.
these hits and you're like taking action upon it, which is so important.
Yeah, sometimes, it's usually when I'm trying to do something, forcing it, and then all of a sudden this idea, I don't think ideas are random. I think
Mhm.
that is definitely your intuition talking to you. And sometimes it's ideas for later, but if you don't act on these ideas, then they just become ideas. Or they might go to someone else, actually, right? Because they're,
For sure.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I do believe like all of these ideas would have been birthed even if it wasn't from me. So I just said, okay, I'll do it. Yeah.
I heard a really fun story about Prince, Prince, the
Yes,
musician.
yes.
How
Uh-huh.
he would like get up or wake up like 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, and he would call and say, I have a new song, I need to record this. And they're like, can you wait till like 8 in the morning? Like it's 3 in the morning. And he would say, no, because if I wait, Michael Jackson's gonna do it. Like
Oh,
he knew that if he didn't take action on the idea because he was connected and he was receiving it, that someone else would do it.
yeah. You know what? I am kind of like that, but it's not like someone else is going to do it. It's like I'm going to lose the fire for it. Right? Like when you have the idea, you're so excited, and so you have all these you have all of the creative thoughts coming in, and I like to get it out right away instead of like letting that die and then I forget about it, right? So,
Yes, for sure. Yeah,
yeah.
I call that the wave. I call that like you're
Uh,
getting the right, get on the wave and ride it all the way through because if you get off, then you have to wait for another good wave.
yes, yes, exactly. And so this next wave is a Caticorn Tarot. And so the artist is Daphne Dion. She's from France. And I just love, like, that's the high priestess. It's so cute.
It is
And
absolutely magical. Anyone who likes cats, oh my gosh, you have to get this.
yeah, this is US Games. So
I might have to get that.
you're gonna have to get it. Yeah. I actually was going to self-publish this. But then
Okay.
after I was working on this deck for a long time, so I actually hired her. So usually the publisher hires the artist,
Mhm.
and then I hired her, Ace of Wands. And I hired her first, and I paid for all the artwork. But it took her a while because I wasn't in a hurry, and so she just, this is her first deck. 78 cards is a lot to draw for an artist, And so I
It
just said,
certainly
take your
is, yeah.
time. Yeah, take your time. And so I was almost going to self-publish this, but at that time I already came out with a couple of decks, and I was like, I'm never self-publishing again. And so I pitched it to Llewellyn, which is my first publisher. I think it's too cute for them.
Uh-huh.
So they said no, thank you. And then US Games was like, well, we want this. And I was like, yes. And so that's how it landed. And it's so cute. I love what they did with like the font.
Yeah, and with the tail, the cat's tail, it's really
Yes.
good.
Yes.
I
So
love how you're really going and explaining I mean, you're just talking about your life and how and your journey, but like how you're like explaining like, hey, like I didn't know how to write and but I chose to do that instead of going out and also like it didn't feel like I was missing out because I like what I was doing, right? And then also like this thing like oh they said no to this but I found another one that it fit perfectly and they took it so it's that sense of it doesn't matter if somebody
yeah.
says no it's just not the right match. It's kind of like dating, right? Like how many people you're
Yeah.
gonna date, it's like that's not the right person, let me try another one. And then you match something that matches exactly what you're going to set out and then they
Uh-huh.
take it with like yes this is exactly what we want.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I actually I actually just submitted a book proposal. They said no, and then another one they said yes, like this week. So you'll get no's, you'll get yes. Thankfully, I don't get that much no's. But yeah, sometimes you will, and I think you just move on. You move on because there's always more, right? We live in a really abundant world, and we can't be restricted to we only have this, or money is only coming in from the one client, or we need this client, or we need this. So we have to be very open to anything could happen. Anything could happen.
Yes, yes, I love that. So tell us a little bit more about how you help people. when they come to you? Like, what is it that you do?
Yeah, so Alex and I have a few programs that we run right now. And so one is really fun. It's called Money Magic Manifest. It's a manifestation program and we're actually enrolling it right now. So it's a 4 week, actually 5 week manifestation program live with us. And in this program, you will learn my 21-day manifestation method. So exactly what I do, the system every morning or night that you can do, it takes about 15 to 20 minutes. And the 4 realms of manifestation on how when, I didn't always manifest really fast, of course, right? I had to like discover how to, and there was one realm that I felt was always missing. So there's the mindset, the mental realm where, we have the mindset, we have the NLP, people work with affirmations. We have the energetic realm where we work with energy, so Akashic Records, ABC codes, Reiki, right? And then we have the emotional realm where you have to have a high level feeling of emotion to receive what you desire. So we can't be mad or sad and receive what we want because it's at a different level. But that doesn't mean we can't be mad or sad because we're human. And when those emotions come, we should still honor them and just know that there's something for us to look into here, something to shift. But what I found that was really missing, and I think that it took me a long time to learn, was the physical realm. So I'm sure we all love playing with our third eye, psychic. We love playing, in the Kosh. We love playing in the energy, but we don't bring it back into our body. So we're missing the physical realm. We're missing bringing everything and grounding into ourselves and living our life and taking action. So I do believe that a lot of magical people, a lot of spiritual seekers and mystics, they actually miss that. And a lot might be, for me, it was because when I was little, coming from an Asian family, when I was little, when I was not, when I was bad, I would get locked in the bathroom and my mom would forget me for some time. And so I would just leave my body, like I would go somewhere else. And this was something that I had to clear doing a healing session. And that was when I discovered that I always escape. I don't live in my body. And when I was able to make that connection, my manifestations came faster and easier. Yeah.
I can totally relate with that. When I first started down my journey, it was the same thing. I was working with an energy healer, and he's like, "You're about 3% in your body."
Yeah.
I didn't even understand what that meant. I was like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, and then I was like, "Is it that the purpose?"
Yeah.
And I really truly thought when I first started, I was doing meditations, that the purpose was to get out of your body, to like not be
Yes.
here and
Yeah.
connect with whatever was out there. I really thought that's what it was. And I was missing exactly that piece that you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing that out because I don't think I have spoken about this at all. And it's such an important part of how we actually manifest because we are, after all, living in a three-dimensional body.
Yeah. And in the priestess lineage that Alex and I follow, we actually believe that, so you do leave the body to connect with source and power to the light. But what we are missing is we're bringing the light into our body, into this world, into this physical world. And that's how you level up. That's how you help the earth and humans instead of going there and staying there. That's not the goal. The goal is to access the light, but bring it back down to the body, access the magic.
Amazing. It's kind of like food for the soul, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
actually feed, like not just going to the market and looking at the stuff, but bringing the food back into your human body.
Exactly. Yeah, so I do feel like, everybody manifests. We're powerful manifestors, but some of us maybe are just manifesting the wrong things because we haven't been taught. So in MMM, I really teach you how to discover your unique way of manifestation and what you can do to work on all 4 realms and also to love money. That is a really, really, it's part of my mission, part of my purpose, my dharma. And I do know that working with a lot of spiritual entrepreneurs, there's a really big block around money and how we ignore money. And that was me. I used to ignore money because I didn't want to see my bills, you know, even though I wanted money, I didn't want to see part of money. But that means I'm ignoring all energy of money. And then a lot of people think money will create bad things in their lives, right? Because we see other people who are really wealthy and they do bad things. And so subconsciously, we might think we're going to be doing bad things. And that's why money doesn't stay with us. And so there is a lot about clearing and manifesting more money and wealth in our lives. So that's MMM.
I love that. So you're saying you're starting in a couple of weeks. I think by the time this comes out, you're going to be in it. Do you run this
Yeah,
program a couple of times a year? Or
I
can
think
people can just come in, or how does that work?
Yeah, so I think we're going to run it a couple times a year and it is live with us. So we'll have like a live launch, and if you just follow me on Instagram, I promote a lot. So you'll know. And the next big program, actually it's our first merged program that I haven't even shared live yet. Only with specific people we talked about. But Alex and I are merging my business academy and her spiritual development and awaken bliss codes together. And so we're calling it the Academy. And so this is going to be a beautiful space, magical space. If you missed your invite to Hogwarts, this is it. You are going to learn how to become a powerful practitioner, energetic practitioner, and you get to learn to work with the ABC codes, Reiki, Akashic Records. And I do feel that a lot of times when I am coaching our clients, spiritual entrepreneurs or healers, they're not confident about their work because they don't know what to do. They don't have the tools or the thing to become confident, to go out and to talk about it. And so we really are training the next generation healers, spiritual teachers, or coaches, and giving them the tools and techniques so that they can have a bigger impact and also bigger income. So there will be spiritual business training inside of this program as well as they're developing their skills. But also as when you're developing your skills, you're also receiving and you're doing the work on you. And so you're going to come out like a totally new, different person after the 6 months.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love the way that you bring all of those things together. The other thing that I really love is that you're bringing in all of your experience, all of
Yes.
your fails, all of your tryouts until you figure out, oh, this is how it works. And now you have this program that is like smooth, and you can like bring people through that journey, and then they can just like skip the 10 years of like
Oh my
10
gosh.
years of just trying it out, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've had clients who started from a brand new Instagram account and she had 100,000 views on Instagram because she followed the system and she signed up 3 VIP high ticket clients never had before, and also clients who private clients that I've coached who never written either before that has gotten debt contracts. And so I do really believe this could be for anyone, and you just need the right system, right? The right formula. And I'm not saying just to like follow exactly what I say, but get the ingredients, right? To, let's say you're baking a cake. You need the eggs, or maybe if you're vegan, you don't need eggs, but you need the flour, some kind of flour, right? You need certain things, but then you get to add the sprinkles. You can add chocolate chip, you can add whatever it is at cacao. So this is just like the system, the ingredients that we give you and help you to figure out what works for you.
Yeah, I love that because we each have to. I always tell this to my clients too. Like, I give you the tools, but you have to make them yourself for
Yeah.
yourself. They have
Yeah.
to resonate with you, right? So it's kind of like you go, you study, and then what are you going to do with that degree, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
yeah,
No, yeah, usually nothing.
yeah. Usually nothing. This is a new age. Nobody needs a degree
Yeah.
anymore to make money or
Yeah,
to be successful or to be doing the things that they want to do in their life. A
exactly. Yeah.
completely different ball game.
Yeah. And we also have our annual 8/8 Lionsgate Portal Day retreat, in-person retreat in Shasta this year, but it's already filled up because everyone from last year wanted to come again, so that was really cool. So Alex and I just love hosting these online programs, but we also love being in person and hosting in-person retreats.
I love that. You're gonna have to just expand it. You're gonna have to make it bigger so more people can come
I
to it.
I know. Well, we weren't even going to run it because our marketing, we didn't have time. Because you know how we're restructuring everything, so we were like, we don't have time. And then just everyone from the last retreat was like, we're coming, and we're like, I guess we don't have to market.
Amazing. Like,
Yeah.
talk about manifestation here.
Yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa. That was we manifested all 4 days. It was powerful for everybody, even me.
So, do you also read kind of like the energies of what's going on and like how to navigate the energies that are happening like globally or like for your audience? Do you also do that, like using your cards or something like that?
So I should do more readings because they actually do very well. But I don't do any really readings for that. Alex does do every month, we'll post like the important astrology dates of the month based on Vedic astrology. So Vedic and Western is a little bit different. We follow Vedic. And so we'll post that. I also like to post like lucky money feng shui days. So I post that every money for you. So you could just go on Pamela Unicorn on my Instagram, and every month you'll get like your dates. And these dates are really good for like if you want to invest in something, if you want to launch something, if you want to do anything with money, then these are like your lucky dates. Yeah. So I love doing that. And yeah, we love hosting free events. So this is how people come into our programs, but we also love hosting these free events for, people who can't come into our programs. They can join. And it's usually like on the portal days. So we found out, so last year we worked through the year in, 11/11, everybody knows that, 8/8 Lionsgate, but we found that there was a magical portal for every month. So there's, 9/9, there's 8/8, 7/7, and so 1/1 or 1/11 or 2/2/2. And so we actually work with these portal days, and we like to do our free events surrounding these days so we can manifest together.
I love that. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because I also, when I first started, I had heard of the Lionsgate. I think everybody has heard of the Lionsgate. But then
Yeah.
I started listening and hearing and finding out about these other portals, and I was like, wait, there's a portal for every month? Like, I have been missing out.
Yeah, yeah. So we love working with just like any powerful date. And I just think it's, a collective belief for the 8/8. So if it's already so out there, kind of like how New Year's Eve, everyone's like New Year's resolution, right? You're already in that energy. So might as well, or your birthday, make a wish. It's already a collective belief. So why not use it to your advantage and do something with it?
Yes, I love that. Amazing. Wow. Gosh, this was going so fast.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
like we've just been like getting like so many things. Is there something that we haven't touched on or I haven't asked you that you would love to share with the audience?
No, I feel like we shared everything. I feel like we talked about everything, huh?
Yeah, it was really smooth. I was like, whoa. And I really feel like your energy is so light and so
Oh, thank
fast. It's like
you.
lightning. And I'm feeling like so pulled by it. Like, wow, when I got this done, it's like amazing. Awesome.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so tell us where can people find you? What are your handles?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, Pamela Unicorn. I post everything there. All the links are there, so you can just find me there. And yeah, you'll just follow.
Okay, and I'm going to put all of your handles in the
Thank you.
description. So if you didn't catch that and you didn't have pen and paper and you want to find Pamela, just go look into the description and you'll find all of that information there to find her. Well, it's been amazing having you here. Your energy is lovely. Love all of the things that you're doing, how you're sharing it with the world. Thank you for your service to the world and how you're helping people. I really feel your energy being so needed and so accepted and received.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me here, and nice to meet everybody.
Thank you.
Thank
And with
you.
that, we'll see you next time. Bye bye.